guys, welcome back to Chop Toys. So this is one I forgot I had. It's been on the top shelf in my living room for a while. This is a 57 pickup that has been fully restored by me, and I remember now looking at it, wasn't real happy with how the paint came out. It looks pretty good. There's a little trash in it, and this build cost a fortune. This is, I'd say, at least 50% new parts. I believe the chassis and the chassis may be new. I think the bed is the only original thing on it. I think the fenders, the chassis, the cab roof, grill bumper, lights, hubcaps, tires, tailgate chains are all brand new parts that I bought off eBay from various different sellers. Yeah, it's a very expensive truck to build. I think the cabs back then were selling for $50 a piece. They seem like they've gotten a little cheaper now. The cab with the roof, I think I found one on eBay the other day, new. It was like 40 something bucks shipped. So they've gone down a little bit, but you start getting all little odds and ends, the bumpers, the lights, grill, tailgate change. I mean, $8, $10, $12, and before you know it, you're in this truck for probably 160 bucks. But it's a nice display piece. I kind of regret my color choice here, this metallic gray. Probably as much effort as I put into it, as much money as I put into it. Should have gone back original, but I didn't. So let's walk around and look. Alright, so up front, it's 57 Tonka, mimic the 56 Ford. Has the straight up and down windshield post, A-pillars, and it has a hood scoop, which wasn't a factory Ford thing, but it was something unique they did for the year. We have the more detailed separate grille and bumper with the big plastic headlights. The previous models, I think 56 had this with the sloped A-pillar, no hood scoop. 54, 55 had a one-piece bumper grill with metal button-style headlights. It's pretty cool, but not quite as realistic looking as these were, I imagine. But again, this is all brand new stuff, and I still put it together with pop rivets because I was ghetto like that. I got on eBay and was looking for, I mentioned in a previous video, I think when we did the tow truck, I was looking for the rivet tool to do this, and there's a few on eBay, but they're not 30 bucks anymore. They're like 60, and I just can't justify that for what it is. So I'll have to find another venue to search for something like that, because I'm not going to pay eBay's price for that. It is something I really need, but not that kind of investment. So you can tell, I mean, the body's perfect. There's nothing to, other than the paint, a few paint blemishes. There's a couple little specks of stuff in it, and it's still kind of dusty. I cleaned it off as best I could. It's been on the top shelf, kind of forgotten about for a while, but wasn't my best paint job, but I think that's why it was on the top shelf, so I wouldn't see it a whole lot. Let's move around the side. So here from the driver's side, you can see what I'm talking about, the straight up and down A-pillar. The 54 to 56 models had a sloped, slightly shaped a little bit different, just like the 56 Fords. Again, the body, perfect, no dents, no nothing. Frame, the step, and everything down here is perfect. There's a little bit of, you can tell the bed, at least I can tell here in person, the bed's got a couple little bends in the rail. It's not quite perfect. The fender is pretty perfect though, other than some paint blemishes. I can't remember if I painted this all. I think I painted it all separate and then put it together, which was a horrible idea. Originally, Tonkas were pretty much put together and then painted. And then they put the tires and wheels and chrome bits on and stuff like that. And yeah, I think I've got some fingerprints here on the edge from trying to hold it while I put parts on, and it wasn't quite dry. Just bad impatient things. I used to be very impatient, and I wasn't able to do the hobby stuff as well and precise as I like to nowadays. We have reproduction tires, which are super soft. I'll roll it for you. No noise whatsoever, just completely quiet. Nice soft rubber, brand new hubcaps, 5-hole would be the correct ones for this year. They didn't offer anything else on 57, I don't believe. But yeah, it's a pretty good display piece. Doesn't roll super good. I think the problem is, again, axles. I made my own axles. And you can see on the bottom there, it's pretty straight and clean. I'm pretty sure that was a brand new chassis, because it doesn't have any bends or any kind of anything on it. But the axles are a little short. I think I cut a whole bunch of that stuff just like a 1/4 inch too short. So when I put the lock nuts on the end of it underneath the hubcaps, it pushes the tire against the chassis a little bit so it doesn't roll freely. I mean, it's not going to take off on its own, which is great for a display piece. You don't got to worry about it rolling off the shelf after you set it up there and walk away. But not that great for something you're going to play with. At the back, we've got it used to be brand new tailgate chains, and I've scratched the paint all off around the edges of that putting them on. The earlier years, the tailgate is held on with a metal wire. It's clamped between the bed and the chassis, and you can see the ends of it sticking out there. That's something very common to find broken off. You'll find one end of it snapped off or something on a truck with no tailgate, and it's very difficult to replace unless you're going to completely strip it down, because you have to drill out the rivets and stuff for the bed. The tailgate might be original. It's got a bend in it. I don't know. It's got a little dent in it, but it's stamped Tonka toys, which you can get those new reproduction as well. So not a whole lot to talk about back there. Chains and stuff are all new. I think you can pick up a set of tailgate chains for like $8 shipped. Not a bad thing. If you've got one that's missing them, it's well worth it. But after, like I said, you buy the cab and the frame and fenders and the grill and the bumper, you're in just in parts for quite a bit. So another $8 on top of that sounds a lot more painful than it really is. Look at the passenger side. You can see I've got some more bad spots up here from me picking it up by the bed while the paint was still wet. But overall it looks good. As far as restored trucks go, it's hard to place value on, because like this is at least 60-70% new parts, if not more. So it's really doesn't have the same value to me as an original truck, but it's a great platform to customize if you're looking to hack something up and you just can't bring yourself to do it to an original truck, no matter how bad off it is. You know, get some odds and ends off eBay, buy a new cab, chop the top, do stuff like that. One of my chop tops I have around, I think two of them, both of them I have are reproduction cabs. And even that, if you're looking to do something custom like this, you want to chop the top, you can buy just this roof piece, and they're like $15 shipped, $15 to $18. And you can cut it. I've got a video on that way back earlier in the channel. I'll show you how I chop the tops on them. And you can put that on your original truck without destroying your original roof. Or if you have a truck without a roof, you know, everything's out there. You just got to dig around and find it. Again, most of these aftermarket parts come from eBay. There's a lot of sellers on there, especially still these days. There's some that have been around since I was into it, 15 years ago. And they're still on there selling stuff, and it's good. Keep the old toys alive. But yeah, bed's a little dusty. Got some fingerprint. I think I had a glove on. Looks like a glove print on the top. Made a lot of mistakes with this truck, and it was just one of those learning process builds. It was very expensive, but I learned a lot, and it's another one of those steps that led me to the custom era instead of just doing restorations anymore. Because back in the early 2000s, when I was really into this, I was doing full restoration, sandblasting, powder coating. There was no paint, there was no fingerprints. It was real precise stuff. And you get 60, 70 trucks, it starts getting boring. So working with original pieces and trying to keep patina and stuff like that started to become a better challenge, more exciting fun for me than just perfect, pristine trucks. But I don't know, there's a place for all of it, and you feel free to do what you like, and I'm going to do what I like. I appreciate y'all watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and check out Chop Toys on Instagram. I'll see y'all in the next video.